American history is full of fascinating events and characters. During the last few centuries, America's lived exciting and dramatic experiences that make up a big part of its character and values. Sadly, America's past is also full of violence, with many chapters marked by unfairness, racism, and bigotry. But as the ugly side of humanity rears its head, there's also a bright side struggling as well. After many battles, both physical and spiritual, the earth below modern America hides the secrets of complex and rich past, which comes to the surface from time to time. And today at Mind Read, we're going to show you some of the most incredible discoveries made inside regular houses that turned out to be a part of American history. Number 10. Who would hire these guys for a reality show? At the 10th spot in our ranking today, we found a 20th century house with some crazy vintage relics. Wild behavior is not a new thing, as a family from Grand Rapids, Michigan found out. This couple bought a 1918 Tudor-style house, almost empty. The place was a complete disaster, and the owners said that the radiators and cast iron sinks were stolen before they even opened the house. However, they loved the character of the house, with its 60 light-divided windows and a beautiful floor plan. After weeks of hard work on the renovations, the homeowners started to find little treasures. First, when they were working on the garage, they discovered an unmarked paper box, hidden between the rafters of the ceiling with a couple bottles of illegal liquor inside. A Prohibition-era relic indeed. Later came the funniest bit. They found black and white photos and negatives with guys drinking in the woods and one of them engaging in some pretty nasty behavior. A wild bunch, if you think about the fact that they could have gone to prison for years. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for all of you that'll just take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And boom, 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Number 9. Humble Treasures. At the 9th spot, we have a very old farmhouse with a chest full of humble treasures. This beautiful farmhouse, located in Port Royal, Pennsylvania, was built in the 1780s, so it's not very surprising that some relics were hidden there, like secret treasures. The Birchfield family are the proud homeowners who have won the Search for America's Best Remodel award for their work. Among their discoveries, they showed a homemade mousetrap dated to the 1830s, a Hershey's Coca tin top, a cornhusker, and a wooden clapper. What's a wooden clapper? Well, it seems that sophisticated ladies in the 1780s didn't use their palms to applaud at the theaters. They used this wooden gadget to do it. They sure found some incredible relics. Number 8. Civil War-era love letters and a belt buckle. At the 8th spot, we have an impressive house from the Civil War era. The Renner family of Camp Point, Illinois worked very hard to renovate their 1891 house. While working on it, they found a hidden stash of lipstick-kissed love letters, a broken child's tombstone from 1780, and the belongings of one of the notorious previous homeowners, a Civil War officer. So, working close to the house foundations in the basement, they found a Union officer's belt buckle that read E Pluribus Unum. Out of many, one, in Latin. Although we all know that In God We Trust is the official American motto, many acknowledge the E Pluribus Unum motto as one of the traditional mottos of the United States. Moreover, when the renovations were going further, they discovered a tintype of a Union soldier drilling a hole in the porch ceiling. Number 7. Is there another world inside the wardrobe? At number 7, we have a secret room older than the Chronicles of Narnia, with a peculiar resemblance. A historic 1920 home in Dunthrop, Oregon is a fascinating place to live. And we're sure the proud homeowner of this property was very excited to live in such a beautiful place. One day, the family's little girls were playing in the library and got inside a closet. And can you guess what happens next? When the girls put their feet on the wall of the closet, it moved. Behind it was a hidden secret room that could be used as a hideout during the Prohibition. The homeowners think so anyway, but what do you think? Number 6. Swimming inside a coin pool. At number 6, we have a treasure many of us would love to find. Many of us just can't stop watching these renovation shows. It's so amazing to look at how they can throw walls down and make such radical changes to a home. Perhaps inspired by these shows, in 2007, Jeff Biddleman renovated a house he bought after being abandoned for 20 years. Although people rumored that the former owners hid some money inside the house, nobody could prove it until Good Jeff hammered down a wall and got showered with coins, all dated from 1826 to 1964. The thing is, they weren't just a few silver dimes. After this discovery, it was estimated that Biddleman found more than $100,000 in old coins. Number 5. Secret Drinking Room. At number 5, we have another Prohibition-era secret room. The historic Belvedere Hospital in Baltimore is registered as a U.S. historic place. It was built at the very start of the 20th century, in 1902, and since then prominent politicians, military figures, presidents, and celebrities stayed in these rooms. Some would dare say that some of them could have visited the Al Bar during the Prohibition era. The Al Bar was a secret speakeasy and now is still working, but as an entirely legal business. If you check out some pictures of the place, it's gorgeous, and the food looks pretty good as well. To keep its historic value and character, the Al Bar is still hidden inside a maze-like set of hallways, so it won't be that easy to get there. Number 4. The footprint of a violent history. At number 4, we've found some disturbing evidence of a violent past. When wandering around American cities, we can't even imagine the horrible violence that might have occurred there centuries ago. The Civil War, for example, is less than 200 years old, and many of the dark secrets of that time are still hidden underground. The Battle of Fredericksburg might have been one of the cruelest and most emblematic battles of the American Civil War. Thousands lost their lives in a few days, and many more were seriously wounded. Given its significance, it's been extensively researched, and it was very surprising for everyone when construction workers found new relics from the Civil War era while building the foundations for a new courthouse in 2019. Hundreds of artifacts like bullets, chinstrap buckles, pipes, buttons from Union jackets, and more were found at the construction site. Number 3. A legal treasure. In number 3, we discovered that a love for history can become very toxic. In 2015, the precious relics of historic value weren't found as a surprise, but as a very intentional effort by the FBI. A World War II engineer and missionary was suspected of collecting valuable relics important not only for American history, but for many cultures around the world. So when he died, the FBI decided to further its investigation, and what they found was pretty impressive. We may never know if the man built a personal museum knowing it was illegal, but he attracted the FBI's attention because he showed his collection willingly to reporters, residents, and even Boy Scout troops. The man was hoarding human bones of more than 500 Native Americans and 40,000 artifacts collected around the world, in most cases illegally. Now, get ready for today's best pick. A hidden place discovered in a basement that symbolizes the struggle between good and evil in American history. Number 2. The Underground Railroad was a remarkable accomplishment of the abolitionist movement to help slaves escape from the inhuman exploitation that they were victims of. Drawing inspiration from this bittersweet struggle, Colonel Whitehead wrote the 2017 Pulitzer-winning award novel, The Underground Railroad, where he shows with a powerful drama the life, suffering, and fight for freedom of his heroine. In real life, the Underground Railroad didn't use any trains, but it was a secretive network of hideouts and passageways used by slaves to run away from their masters and bounty hunters. Considering its importance, it was very surprising for this family to find evidence of the Underground Railroad when they were renovating their basement. The homeowners listened to lots of stories about the house, however, they didn't take them too seriously. Some of the stories claimed that the house was used as a part of the Underground Railroad, which makes sense because the house is located 25 miles from the Canadian border and was built in 1849, a time when the Underground Railroad was booming. When the family decided to renovate the basement, they found some suspicious signs that led them to a breakthrough. They found a hidden trapdoor, which tested their courage and curiosity. Crawling inside, they found a secret room, 11 feet deep, with enough space to hide a small group of slaves. Dark as a tomb, we can't imagine how terrified somebody could feel running from their captors inside this hideout. We take freedom for granted, but it's a precious and valuable treasure. Number 1. Revolutionary War. Perhaps one of the most significant and decisive moments of America was the Revolutionary War, when the American patriots of the 13 colonies defeated the British Empire, which allowed America to win independence from Great Britain, and started the establishment of the United States. In December 2019, human skeletons were found in Ridgefield on a construction site. Ridgefield is a historic town where an important battle of the American Revolution was fought in 1777, where thousands of men engaged in combat. The Battle of Ridgefield has been interpreted as a tactical victory for the British, but a strategic one for the Americans. As the old saying goes, the Americans lost a battle, but they won the war. According to archaeologists, there was enough evidence to assume that the bodies found belonged to soldiers. Presumed military uniforms, strongly built adult-sized skeletons, and the absence of a coffin all suggest that these men were not part of a family burial. And it looks like we've finished today's amazing journey through American history. While some of our past is dark and shameful, some of it's encouraging and inspiring, but all of it can be a source of wisdom for the future.